What up, everybody? It's your boy Solo Foe, and I'm back with another episode of So What's the Issue? And today I'm going to be talking about DaBaby's painting of his two daughters, whatever that was. So I watched and listened to what DaBaby had to say to it. I wanted to, try to see what he had to say. Now, I didn't watch any full videos or any like hour-long lives or anything like that, so I'm only going off of like a 30, maybe 40-second clip. So just, mind me when it comes to that. But okay, so if y'all haven't seen it, basically what happened was there was a painter that painted a picture of two of DaBaby's kids. DaBaby was walking past them at a nightclub. Basically, dude unveiled the painting and was like, "Hey man, look," and he was trying to get DaBaby to take his picture. Now, anybody that knows any painters, anybody that knows anybody that does art and stuff like that, a way that they get attention, a way that they try to get attention is they try to basically do stuff for celebrities. Now, I'm going to get into whether what's right or wrong in a minute, but we're going to start there. So a lot of painters, a lot of people that do art and stuff like that, they'll do favors for people that actually are celebrities already in the hopes that maybe they get a shout out or maybe whatever. So the way that the picture is being painted in my head, basically, the guy seen that, oh, you know what? DaBaby's coming to town. Maybe it was a fan of DaBaby. Maybe he does that to every artist that comes to that particular club or, whatever. And basically he was like, okay, what can I do that's going to stand out? The guy probably looked up two pictures of his kids and was like, all right, cool. This is going to be a great idea. Painted the picture and was like, okay, this is going to be something that, somebody would be happy to have. So he went to the club, tried to get the acknowledgement, and DaBaby saw it. You could see that as soon as DaBaby saw it, he was instantly frustrated. And this isn't a shot or any type of knock on DaBaby, but we all know that we've seen it in the past that DaBaby is somebody that wears his emotions on his sleeves. He's somebody that's kind of raw with his emotions. So when he saw the photo, you can see that he kind of like, you've seen his jaw basically move, and basically you could tell it didn't hit him the right way. And basically, the way he looks at it from the way that I heard during the video is that basically he didn't feel comfortable with a grown man drawing and painting pictures of his kids. He didn't feel like that was acceptable. Now, is that for me or you to feel like it is or ain't acceptable? I believe 100% to each his own. For myself, I'm going to tell you from myself personally, no, I would not see it that way as if it was something like pedophilic or anything that somebody was doing to it was a clout chaser move. And that, I mean, anybody that sees that would initially see that that's a clout chaser move. Maybe it would have been better, or maybe whatever, if he would have drew a picture or painted a picture of DaBaby himself, maybe that would have came off a little bit of a better way. But I think that it's a little bit of a more a more thought out gesture to do his kids, because DaBaby's probably seen a bunch of stuff. Any celebrity has probably seen a bunch of stuff with their self already as of the day of whatever. Like, because they're celebrities, people are going to do them favors, people are going to do, and I'm going to assume in the guy's mind that he was thinking, hey, let me be shocking, let me be revealing, this will make him want to acknowledge it and maybe give me a shout out on the internet and say, shout out to this guy, whatever. I accepted a painting from him outside of a nightclub. I don't know his name, but if anybody can get me his name, type of thing, maybe I can give him a shout out. I'm going to assume that's what the guy was actually hoping for. Now, did he receive that? No. What he received was basically DaBaby on this live that I particularly saw, or this video that I particularly saw. DaBaby was basically saying like, hey, I'm a street nigga. I don't play that type of shit about my kids. So basically, if you don't remove the video like I actually asked you to remove the video before, then me and you are going to have a problem. Now, as far as the Instagram thing goes, I'm pretty sure that every single painter, every single artist, every single person that does any type of art always takes a picture, posts it on their Instagram to say, hey, look at what I did. I'm pretty sure they do it with every single piece of art. I don't think it matters. But this is where I start to say that I feel a type of way towards the painter himself. No, I don't think what he did was wrong. But the second that it was met with hostility, the second that it was met with a form of aggression, it shouldn't mean that much to you. Let it go. I like don't involve with yourself with some extra street shit when a nigga's obviously saying like I'll put some money on your head type of thing. It's not that necessary. We all men. I understand how it feels when somebody tries to threaten you. You gonna stand on your laurels as a man or whatever. But it's another unneeded situation. You move on to the next celebrity. You paint a picture of the next people's kids or the next person or anybody whatever you want to in that scenario. It does not have to be DaBaby specifically. And I get it. You feel slighted, you feel a type of way because you feel like, you didn't do anything wrong, which I 1000% agree with. But the second that he said whatever, like, hey, take it down, I don't like it. All right, I get it. It took you a while probably to paint it. You probably put some thought into it. You probably put some shading, a couple of dollars extra into it. So no, maybe you don't want to just take it down, but just sell it on the street. Say, hey man, you ain't even got to say it's DaBaby's kid. I know you probably go to art galleries or you probably go to wherever where people buy private paintings and they take it home and go put it on their own private wall. You ain't got to tell them that's the kid, the painting of DaBaby's kids or nothing like that. Just, go sell it off for $20, $30, $40, whatever your time was worth. Don't worry about no altercation with no nigga that's willing to crash behind what he's saying he's willing to crash about. Am I saying that DaBaby is right for being willing to crash on a nigga about some shit like that? I don't think murder for hire or even him going and slapping a nigga and getting hit with a lawsuit, whatever a form of hostility or whatever DaBaby meant by like, hey, I'm a nigga that don't play that type of shit, and I'll have to come and see you about that. No matter what way it is, it's not worth DaBaby's trouble. It shouldn't be, but at the same time, he is the father of those kids. He's allowed to parent however he wants to. But for you, just, save yourself the trouble. Obviously, he got time. He got time. He has money. He has whatever it is that he wants to do about it. He has that ability right now. So just don't give him that attention. I get that you wanted a little bit of attention, but it's not worth it, because if it does escalate where you basically do say something and that nigga does happen to know somebody that can give up your location, and you don't know what people will do for $500 or a little bit of celebrity attention. This nigga put it out there, hey, anybody in the city of whatever, I don't know where this was, but anybody in Dude's city that can give me his address, let me know something, I'm gonna throw you something under the table. We see Boosie do it all the time with jewelry and shit like that. Not saying that because that's actually a charge if he did it publicly, but I'm saying if a nigga put some money on your head, you don't know. Because a nigga tap in with street niggas in a local area or whatever, and then they end up pulling up on you and the shit get messy, you get jumped, you get right. That's all that shit that your family actually don't need. So just don't argue with a nigga that's willing and got time and money and shit like that. Just take the paint and go sell it, go move on with your day. Don't even hassle with that shit. Is DaBaby right? DaBaby is right to DaBaby. DaBaby is right for anybody that wants to feel like DaBaby is right too, and anybody that type of message resonates with. But for anybody that is not a resident, this is one of them 50-50 situations. You as a person, me as a regular spectator of the situation, and even as the painter, would feel like, hey, that's going way overboard. You got daughters, like you said, going and pulling up on a nigga, risking going to jail and all of, whether you put money on dude's head, whatever it is that you're doing, it's not worth whatever might the outcome be. He's a random person that lives in whatever state and whatever place. He did it. DaBaby, you should probably get a little bit more, I don't want to say thicker skin because it sounds like an assault on his character, but basically some things ain't just worth your time. If you felt like you didn't accept the picture, you didn't stop and talk to the guy from the video that I saw and stuff like that, if you were going to keep it at a whatever, you moving on just would have been good enough, and he would have never gotten this attention. Honestly, I wouldn't even be reporting on this video if you never acknowledged him publicly and other people basically reposted your response to this guy. I don't know the guy's name, but now I know his art. I know that he's an artist somewhere, and guess what? Some people will do a bigger investigation and actually go check and see who he is. So now you done made that guy an extra $400 or $500, and then people. Like we see it all the time with people that go to jail. People are willing to send money to people that they want to support. So you went and did the opposite of what would have been the message that you wanted to send out, if just because you fed into it a little bit. Now I do want to say this. I seen a post recently just now before I did this whole live of a person saying that it's always the people without kids that want to make comments and not understand about where people with kids is coming from. I'm gonna let y'all know I do not have any kids. I'm 30 years old. I don't have any kids. So no, I'm not gonna sit here and act like I know exactly how I would have felt. But I'm gonna tell you this. Before I got on this video, before I started doing this, I looked at a lot of posts. I wanted to make sure I looked and seen as many posts from females and from men as possible. Most of the people that I seen commenting on it. Now, everybody that feels a type of way does not comment on it, but the people that commented on the internet, the majority of those people were parents. So I don't know where this whole, because y'all like to throw anything dealing with criticism upon parenting on people without kids. This is my opinion, and I don't have kids, but this is how I felt, and I felt both ways. But the people without kids ain't really the ones that's going in on DaBaby. It's all the ones with kids that's actually saying, nah, this nigga's doing way too the fuck much. I done seen a female. I don't know if these people feel comfortable with me dropping their names and stuff like that, but I seen post after post where they was like, hey, this is way too much. This is way too serious. DaBaby shouldn't be doing this, and that. But I'm gonna say to these people that have made posts, I 100% agree with y'all. I 1000% agree with y'all that I feel like that's over the top, and not acknowledging him would have been a way better thing. But I still feel like DaBaby still has a right to feel how he wants to. But we all have to stop acting like we don't know people's personalities. DaBaby has shown us to this day that he wears his emotions on his sleeves. Dude, does that make it right that DaBaby wants to wear his emotions on his sleeves? I'm not saying it makes him right. I'm not saying it makes him wrong. But at the same time, that type of shit will get people put in the spotlight of criticisms. And if people are willing, if DaBaby's willing to take shit far enough, it might actually get him into legal trouble or whatever. And I'm going to say this for DaBaby, and I mean this as respectfully as possible, because I am not a man with kids. But what I am saying is this situation worth you losing accessibility to your kids? Is this situation, and I'm not saying is your kids something worth crashing out about, because everybody knows that your kids is something worth crashing out about. But what I'm saying is this random person that you don't know, that nobody knew before besides the people that lived in that local city, is it worth actually you putting yourself in the spotlight of, because now you've made a public, I don't want to say threat, because I know how people like to retract and say it wasn't really a threat, but I'm saying you spoke against this guy publicly. So if this guy randomly gets robbed, if this randomly his house randomly catches fire and they find out it's a Molotov, I'm just throwing out some things. If anything happens with this guy, the people are first going to think about you. So if the people are first going to think about you, guess who else is going to think about you? The police. They're not dummies. We all know the police ain't dummies. Look at what they just did with Pooh Shiesty. Pooh Shiesty robbed Gucci Mane allegedly a couple months ago. And look at this. Now Pooh Shiesty's in jail again. So do you really want to leave breadcrumbs out there? Like, if you was going to do something, maybe this is something that you probably shouldn't have even responded to. And I'm not trying to say it like, hey, you can't respond to a nigga. But if you going to put, hey, how you doing? If you are going to put actions, if you're going to put actions to your words, like you're saying you're going to put actions to your words, it's probably not best for you to make the public threat like, hey, I'm going to engage with you somehow, whether it's verbally, whether it's whatever, anything that could lead anybody. Because even if somebody randomly smack and robs him on the street, just randomly, now people are going to say, hey, it was DaBaby. Like, people believe in every single conspiracy. People believe that Gucci Mane is a clone. People believe that all types of shit. People believe shit. So you're going to be the number one candidate for on the police. Hey, so what issues has this guy had publicly that would make somebody want to do this to him? Oh, Apparently, 2 months ago, 3 months ago, he had an ongoing issue with DaBaby. Oh, well, that's the first rate place we're gonna check. All right, DaBaby, we're gonna confiscate your phones. We're gonna, you know how they do. They're going to dig into your personal life, and they might find other shit that might be incriminating. And it's just a snowball effect. And it's like, do you really want that over? And I'm not saying over your kids, but do you really want that type of attention over somebody that if you did not acknowledge, they would never have gotten a spotlight? Like I said, I would have never commented on this video today if I didn't see DaBaby's reaction to it, because I was like, what the hell is everybody talking about? So basically now I know there is a guy somewhere that does paintings. And like I said, other people are going to dive deeper into it. So that's all I really wanted to say on the matter. Well, basically, one more thing. The kids situation again. People without kids are going to have speculations. People without kids everybody was raised. I'm going to say this one last time. Everybody was raised by parents. You either had a good example of what you wanted to be as a parent, and you also had a good example of what you don't want to be as a parent. So either one works. Just because you feel like you got a kid and people know how they would feel if they had a kid. I'm not saying that everything is by the book or anything like that, because yes, I believe that things can be unimaginable the day that you actually have kids. Maybe things might go to another level. Maybe things might get worse. Maybe things might get better. But just because a person doesn't have kids don't mean that a person can't feel what a person is saying, basically, whenever they're coming from a place of hurt, anger, sadness, whatever. It really does not matter. People understand emotions. I understand emotions just as much as the next person. But that's really all I wanted to say on the matter. For DaBaby, I really hope nothing comes out of this for your career, because we know that you're already dealing with career issues. And I'm not saying that in a negative way. I would like to see you get back to the pinnacle of your career. And I hope this doesn't, throw a wrench in what you've been doing to rebuild your career. I wish best for the both sides. I hope this guy makes as much money as he wants to now that he's got a lot more attention and stuff like that. I hope DaBaby can, find it in himself to forgive this guy for, whatever he feels like as far as him protecting his children. I hope he can find forgiveness in his heart. I just hope that it doesn't have to resort into anything crazy, not even legal situations on either side. Because, I think it was just a good gesture. That's just my opinion on it. And that looks like that's what a lot of people's opinion on it. Our opinions don't truly matter, because it's all about the person that was affected. Everybody that's affected by something is allowed to feel the type of way that they want to feel about it. So we're not allowed to tell a person how to feel, but we are allowed to talk to a person and basically maybe rationalize with a person. Let's just call it that. Maybe cooler heads can prevail in that situation. But, tell me what y'all think in the comments. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. I'll be back with another episode in just here in a minute. Thank y'all for watching. Thank y'all for tuning in. Until the next video.